So now I want to move on to my final topic, and I think a lot of you will be very interested in this one, and that is Matterport. Which 360 camera or which camera should you buy for Matterport? Something I've noticed, and I'm sure you've noticed, Dan, when people first come across Matterport, they go to the Matterport website and they become convinced that they need to spend $8,000 on the Matterport Pro 3, and that's their only way to use Matterport. But that's not true. There are many ways to shoot Matterport, and while the Matterport Pro cameras do have a time and a place where they excel and they're industry leading, they are not needed in most situations, especially day-to-day use like real estate, or most kinds of virtual tours where you might be offering virtual tours for clients. You don't necessarily need the Matterport camera to use Matterport if that's your intention. So there are a few options here for for a few alternative cameras or setups that you could use. The first one is using the Matterport Axis, which allows you to use your smartphone and you connect it to the Axis. There you go. Dan's got his, and that rotates your phone automatically. Fantastic. It's not available in Australia yet, believe it or not, but I'm glad you've got yours. What's your experience of using the Axis, Dan?
Oh, that's a good question. If you're going, it depends on what your use case is. So if you're a professional virtual tour photographer, this is not a solution for you. If you are just starting out and you want to put your toe in the water, great way to be able to experience doing a Matterport tour. If you own one or more bed and breakfasts and you want to do it yourself in terms of your Airbnb or VRBO, awesome solution. I would say the smartphone rotation captures super quality images, but it's not a solution if you're trying to build a business. Just the workflow is just too long. And frankly, my $1,000 iPhone, I just really don't want to have it rotating. I need to use it. So if you think about using a rotator in a smartphone, you almost want to have a dedicated phone for the rotation so that you can take your calls, do text, whatever it is that you're doing. And that kind of defeats the purpose in the first place of trying to save the money. So yeah, I think it's training wheels to virtual tours meets Matterport.
Absolutely. I'd agree with that. So if you're just wanting to dip your toe in the water with Matterport, consider the Matterport Axis. But I would even suggest skipping that step and just going straight to a 360 camera, because there are many 360 cameras that are compatible with Matterport. So, I mean, we've had a few for a while. A couple of the Insta360 cameras are compatible, like the 1X2 and the 1R, as well as some of the Ricoh Theta cameras. So the Z1 is compatible, and I think the SC2 and maybe previous Ricoh cameras. But something that is coming as we speak is compatibility with their two newest cameras, which are the 1RS 1-inch and the Theta X. So compatibility for these two cameras is coming. I believe it's going to be this month, January, latest February 2023.
I would say it's probably you could probably do it today, but it's not officially supported for either camera. But we're so close to the point where it would be officially supported that the official compatibility of the Ricoh Theta X and the Insta360 RS1 shouldn't hold you back from making those purchase decisions if you're planning to do Matterport. We're so close on that official compatibility coming.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both just around the corner. So these are both really good options and better than the previous cameras that were compatible with Matterport. So I wouldn't worry about the 1X2 anymore or 1R.